like to show you my Viking linen tarp, how I did that. I got some fabric that was 1 meter in width, and I wanted it to be a 2 by 2 meter tarp, so I had to sew it together. I bought 4 meters of tarp, or this fabric, and you can see here how I'm doing it. It's very difficult because you have to do it in your hand if you don't have a sewing machine that is so big that you can reach in about 1 meter. So here I'm doing my stitches, and you can see here how I made it. I fold these 2 meter parts and put them together like this. Yeah, and as I said in my video, I have been on a sailor school, so I learned that technique there. And when you have done it, you have to secure it with some needles so that it doesn't move while you are sewing it. Yeah. And of course this is just a sample. My real tarp is 2 meters long. So then I do this, I come it together, and I start sewing it. I use linen thread, waxed linen thread, and I chose to have the brown one because it makes a good contrast to the fabric, I think. Yeah, and most of the time I could use my hands, but occasionally I had to use a plier because it was very hard to punch in. You just have to be patient and do it as good as you can, and if you can make it even in spacing, it will make a beautiful result. I'm not an expert, but I have a little training from my leatherworks. Yeah, and then when I finish with the one side, I take the other side. So I have to sew it together twice when it's in the middle of the tarp. And as I said before, this technique has been used for many years, probably also when the Vikings made sails. I knew that they used mostly wool, but linen could be a good alternative. So when you have to sew 2 parts together for a sail, this is the way you can do it. So you have the one side and the other side. They are identical, as you can see. Yeah, this is how I made my assembled my 2 parts of the tarps. And here I show you how I made the sides of the tarps. There were 4 sides, of course, and I just bent it twice like this, and I used a little thing that would keep the tarp in place, and I actually also used needles for that. But again, the same technique. You bend it up and just make the stitching the same way as before. And again, patience, and it will work. I think it took me about 8 to 10 hours to make this tarp. So this is how you are securing the edges of the tarp. And it's very strong too. It will hold for many years. And now I'll show you where the 2 edges meet in the corners. I bend it up like this, and then I start my stitching. Now I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 6 to 8 layers I have to punch through with a needle, but yeah, it went okay. And here I stitch it on the other side. Just carefully work you through the project and you will succeed eventually. There you can see the final result. Yeah, and at the ends and the corners I made these out of leather and rivets, and it's very heavy duty, so they work very good.